currency failures, wars, shortages, famines, currency shifts. All this stuff is going on. Hey everybody, it's Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. It's not doom and gloom. It's a matter of fact. These things are going on. Up your game now. Double, triple, quadruple down on your preparedness. Up your game. Prioritize your preparedness now. Very important. It's going down, people. If you don't believe it, if you say, oh yeah, I've been hearing the same thing for 20 or 30 years. Yeah, well, 20 or 30 years ago, the indicators weren't there. Not like they are now. We've seen a lot of people, a lot of countries trying to go away from the dollar. The weakness of the dollar, the US dollar that is. The effects thereof. And shortages, famines, droughts, increased prices. It's all leading to a massive global change. A lot of people call it the Great, Reset. There are power players in play. I don't know why it's getting so dark. I apologize. There we go. There are power players on several sides that have different agendas that they're trying to accomplish. But the point is that both sides don't care about you and me. They don't care about us. They don't care about the little people other than the fact that we're cogs in their machines that earn them money. Like I said, now is the time to double, triple, quadruple, quintuple down on your preparedness. Stockpile food. Stockpile water. Grow your own food. I know it's getting, the latter half of August. But you can still plant a fall garden. You can still get chickens. You can still get other animals. Self-reliance is key. I was down today taking care of a neighbor's chickens and gardens while they're camping for a couple days. And I noticed how they cleared their property. They're working on clearing it. And they cleared it to a point where they got a bunch of huckleberry bushes all around the edge of their property. Things like that are great things to do if you have things like that on your property. Because berries are awesome. Because not only are they the superfoods you hear about and all the media blitz and all that stuff like that, but what is awesome about it is you don't have to replant them every year. They just grow back. You may have to water them a little bit, but odds are if they're already growing there, you probably don't even have to do that. Although, like where they cut back a bunch of stuff so they're getting more sun, they may have to water them a little bit. But very low maintenance. I like this idea, this approach. Because why? Because self-sustainability, self-reliance, things like this, Jerusalem artichokes, invasive species, keeps on growing year after year. I just leave a couple tubers in there every time. I didn't even harvest them last year. That's why I got so many coming out it's going to be crazy. I'm going to have to plant them all over the place and just let them take over areas because that's sustainable food. Grow food, not lawns. If you have a lawn, tear it up. Plant some food there. Raised beds. If you're an HOA, I'm sorry, I don't know who would ever choose to or want to live in an HOA where other people can tell you what you can and can't do on your property. I don't understand that. I would never, ever, ever live in an HOA. The whole idea disgusts me because I'm a freedom-minded person. What I do on my property is what I do on my property. I didn't want anybody else telling me what to do on my property, as long as I'm not hurting anybody else. The self-reliance, self-sustainability, that's where we're going to get through this thing. And we're not all going to get through this thing. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be not like anything you've ever seen before, unless you've been to countries where these kind of things happen. And it's probably going to be a lot worse than that because Americans are not able to cope with stuff like that. Think about it. I mean, people get their feelings hurt if, somebody looks at them sideways or doesn't use the proper gender pronoun. Are you kidding me? Think about when the world's falling apart. Everybody's running around shooting and killing each other and people are starving to death and stuff like that, and they're going to worry about their stupid gender pronouns? That's pathetic. We're so spoiled as Americans. We're blessed, True, God has blessed us. But because of that, we become spoiled and soft. We're not able. How many people know how to, in the United States, garden, grow their own food, raise their own animals, can, fish, hunt, sow, all these things that our ancestors used to know how to do? People refer to the Great Depression. Well, yeah, the Great Depression happened, but people back then, it was more of an agrarian society. People knew how to raise their own food and do things like that. They were a lot more self-reliant back then. They actually knew how to cook a meal that didn't come in a box or from a restaurant or stuff like that. How many people out there know how to do that nowadays? A lot fewer, I'll tell you that. It's surprising to me that there's so many people out there that don't even know how to bake their own bread. They don't even know how to, gather up a bunch of stuff from the garden and make a meal out of it. They don't know how to process a chicken. Okay, yeah, there's a chicken. Okay, that's food. Okay, do you know how to process it? Do you know how to, to get the feathers off? Do you know how to process it for use and to make use of everything, including the bones, make bone broth, etc.? There are so many lost skills, and it's not lost to everybody. No, this is why tribe is so important. Meet tribe, get to know tribe, interface with tribe, cross-train with tribe. I don't know everything either. That's why I have tribe, and they teach me things, and I teach them things. I'm here on YouTube just trying to encourage you. I can't tell you everything to do because we're all in different situations. We're all different areas. We all have different financial situations. We all have different amounts of property. We have all different growing zones, different things like that. So I can't tell you exactly what to grow in your garden. I can tell you and show you what I grow in my garden, what works for me, and encourage you guys to do the best you can because it's coming. The storm is coming. And with winter coming, that's a whole other level of difficulty added to the situation on top of everything else. Because then you've got extreme cold temperatures, you've got extreme other things. Is the power grid going to be up this winter? Don't know. Are you going to have access to water? Is city water still going to flow? I don't care. I got a well. And we got generators to hook it up and power it if we need to. And solar arrays we could hook up to power it if we need to. And my neighbors and I, the people on the same well, are thinking about getting one of those buffalo pumps to hand pump our well. We're thinking about going in on it together because, it's a shared well. There's a couple houses on it. And they're all awesome people. So I don't worry about that. But having the ability to take care of yourselves is very important. It's getting worse. It's going to get, we're being pushed into war. We're going to go to war. That's pretty much a given fact. What form is it going to take? I don't know. Is it going to go nuclear? I don't know. But what can we do? In reality, what can we do? We can continue to stockpile food, get water. Water is so important, often overlooked by preppers. People talk about it, but how many people actually do it? Every time I go to the store, I buy at least a case of water, almost every time. Okay, I'll be honest, I don't buy one every single time, but buying cases of water, buying barrels, good source for buying those food grade, the big blue barrels. Usually they're blue. The 35 gallon or 50 gallon, I don't know what size, I forget the exact size, but are soda bottling companies, because the syrup for the soda, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, stuff like that, the syrup comes in those barrels, so it's food grade and food safe, and they need to get rid of them because often I guess they don't reuse them anyway. Anyway, you can get a lot of places, you can get them for a very good deal. Very less expensive than buying them brand new. Also, another thing you can do for buckets for your food is go to local bakeries, Costco bakery, Walmart bakery, maybe even, and local bakeries. All the frosting and other stuff comes in those food grade buckets. That's a good way to get food grade buckets. A lot of them give them to you for free. There's a lot of things you can get for free, but anyway, do everything you can to be as prepared as possible, to be as self-sufficient as possible. Outside of their system, it's fragile, it's gonna collapse, and when it does, a lot of people are gonna suffer. Don't be one of those people. Have the ability to take care of your family, to provide for your family, to be there for your family and friends and tribe and neighborhood and community and nation. If we're gonna get through this strong, we have to be strong. We have to be mentally strong, physically strong, and spiritually strong, okay? I hope you guys take this seriously. I hope you double down, triple down, quadruple down, quintuple down on your efforts. Prioritize everything. Don't order that pizza. Go get some preps instead. Cut down on smoking or quit. Same with alcohol. Same with anything that you don't have to have. Take a good hard look at your life. See where you can make improvements on your preps. Like I said, people say, oh, people have been saying this for 20 to 30 years. Yes, they have. True. But think how well prepared you would have been if you'd been listening all along. Because like I talked about, tactical aspect. You can't wait until SHTF happens to start tactical training. You got to start now. Because it's not a skill. Same with all these prepper skills. You're not going to gain them overnight. It takes years to get good. Now, can you build those skills in SHTF? Sure. But why not do it now when it's easier? Do everything you now possibly can while it's easier now. Sure, we're busier because we still got to go to, a lot of people still have to go to work and then they don't have as much time. SHTF, you're going to have more time. True. But everything's going to be exponentially more difficult then because you may not have power. You may not have running water. You may not have the ability to go to the grocery store, to go to the hospital, to do all these things, to call law enforcement. You're going to have to take care of yourself. Are you ready for it? Prepare now. I love you guys. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, share the videos, comment below, do all the things. Have a wonderful day and blessings to you and yours.